Good morning, everybody, and every day. uh, Thank you for joining me at this cold weather. It's great to gather through the online. Today I'm trying to review some of the topics. I think most of us are familiar with the Arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, and I try to gather some of those nice pictures and give you some kind of a close look. What are those things? What they would do? And let's go through it. Yeah, as what Deb said, the value of the topic of today's talk is value of vascular mycorrhizal fungi for crop production. Oh, how do I move this? Yeah, well, the first I would ask, what are vascular mycorrhizal fungi? And the abbreviation name is AMF. It's a AMF are beneficial soil fungi that form mutually beneficial partnership with most land plants. They actually act like a natural biofertilizer. They enhance the crop growth. They form extensive underground network, we call it a hyphen, to forage the nutrients. The hyphens itself, are constantly acquiring nutrients, soil nutrients, and water, and they would form a tree-like structure within the plant roots cells, and they get those carbohydrate from the plant roots, and they would be able to transport the nutrients they gather from the soil deliver them into the plant roots. And AMF also play a vital role in ecosystem doing the system services. By supporting plant growth, increase plant resistance to disease, improve soil health through helping soil to aggregate, particularly, connect those individual soil particles into micro aggregates. And as we said, they form symbiotic relationships with the plants. And the benefits to the plant part is AMF significantly enhance plant ability to absorb the immobile soil nutrients, those ones that tend to stay in the soil, not moving. Even there's enough water moving in the soil, those nutrients tend to stay in the place, like phosphorus. They have been pulled by the soil particles. Also include nitrogen, phosphorus, and other micronutrients like iron, zinc, and water as well. And when the soil water is getting less under the drought conditions, they also provide protection against pathogens because, when AMF start growing, it produces a massive amount of the biomass, which actually dilute the pathogens concentration in the soil, which would reduce their ability to infect the plants. That actually improve the plant to resist to environmental stresses like salinity and drought. For the benefit of fungi, they would get the steady supply of carbohydrates that is the photosynthesis product from the plants. So they benefit from each other. If they separate, like a plant won't grow that well, and fungi won't be able to continue to grow. The detailed processes of symbiotic processes is, it all began with the AM fungi spores germinating in the soil around the roots and grow hyphen. They germinate it, and then they need to find the host plant. The plant under stress conditions, example like if they need the nutrients or the water is short, and the plants would release a hormone to induce the AMF to grow towards them, and the AM increases enhance finding the plant roots. That would be the plants send this kind of message through the chemicals because they cannot talk loudly, so they use some kind of hormone, release the chemicals to communicate between them. In return, the MF would also release a single molecules, some simple organic molecules to promote a symbiotic response to the plant request. So they start stretching their hyphen towards the plant root's surface. The tip of growing hyphen reach the root surface and form a specialized flattened hyphen structure. And that structure would be able to, if you could see it over here, this is a hyphen. This is the spore started growing, and they produce a hyphen. And when the plant roots send a signal, they start stretching over here, come to the surface of the roots. They form a flat structure, and then hyphen would be able to get into those root system, and then start growing the tree-like structures. And they have a lot of those kind of branches develop like a bush, and then they concentrate it in the root cells, and they would be able to deliver the stuff into the plant root cell, and they would also be able to get the carbohydrate from there and transport back to continue to grow the hyphen. That's what that's what the process is. So once this kind of things set up, and the nutrients could continuously transport into the roots, and the carbohydrate would continue to flow into those AMFs hyphen, and then help it continue stretch the hyphens. One of the important things that AMF would do is influencing the soil organic carbon dynamics. And plant biomass production can be significantly increased through an active symbiotic association with AMF, which result in a rise in organic carbon sequestration in both sides. Not only plant would grow better and form new biomass, produce a lot more, and the hyphen, the AMF hyphen, it will become very massive and start stretching. Yeah. When they receive more of those carbohydrates from and lipids from their host plants, they use them to build and support the mycorrhizal network. And as this network expanded, they move organic carbon, from the top soils going down as they are seeking for more of the nutrients. Both plant roots and fungi produce multiple organic compounds, including, like sugar, mycosaccharides, low molecule weight organic acid. Uh, this low molecule organic acids would be able to reduce the soil pH around root hair area, and that would dissolve the phosphorus compounds that originally is not available for plant to use and make them mobile and available. And also the decayed dead plant roots and fungi hyphen increase the soil organic carbon storage. Yeah, the AMF forming this kind of symbiotic processes would help the soil to produce more kind of soil microbes and diversifying the community structure, and which also enhance the soil organic carbon recycles processes and improve soil health. The key part we want to have this AMF in our soils is to improve soil yield and the soil quality, soil health and quality. How this would improve the crop yield? They go through the following several things. First is nutrient uptake. Once this symbiotic relationship is set up with the crop roots, AMF enhance nutrient uptake, particularly phosphorus, iron, and those slightly bigger, functional groups or less mobile things, nutrients, and also micronutrients as well. So on this side, on this diagram by Jacobs and Murphy and Readout, and they give a very good description how this worked. On the left side of this diagram, there's no colonization with the plant doesn't have this kind of AMF colonization. So the plants would rely on the roots to absorb the nutrients. For example, like this phosphorus. If the roots attach to this mobile, available phosphate, they would be able to take it and absorb it. But for the phosphate that was a little bit further away from the roots, the root hair won't be able to access it. So even they're available, they won't be able to be used by the plants. But if you have the AMF hyphens, they would be able to stretch the root hair a lot longer, deeper, or to wider area, and still even with a similar kind of root structure, but with the extension of this AMF hyphens, all those nutrients in the further distance will become accessible. And the second is to improve the crop resistance to the pests, including, like insects, disease, and even compete with weeds. Because when you have more nutrients and water, your plant would grow better, they would develop better, and then they have this kind of resistance to the disease, pests as well. So they also, resilient. The crop would become more resilient to, adverse environmental conditions. Well-developed root systems and better access to water and nutrient supply help crop to handle environmental stresses like drought, salinity, and short nutrients and supplies. So they would be able to increase the crop yield. And sometimes people see that like they could increase the crop yield by 10 to 20%. AMF hosting crops. Over 90% of land plants host some sort of AMF. Some support better than others. So we need to know what kind of crops is supporting AFM, and when you add AMF kind of inoculants into your soil, and then those crops would benefit from it. I list some of those over here, like cereal crops. Most of cereal crops are AFM host, like grass type of crops: corn, sorghum, wheat, oats, barley, rye grass, and millet. They are very good AMF hosting plants. And pulse crops, including pea, alfalfa, faba beans, lentils, and chickpeas. They are also good hosting plants. Oilseed crops include sunflower and flax. Non-mycorrhizal crops include canola, mustard, buckwheat, quinoa, and some vegetables, including broccoli, cabbage, radish, turnip, and etc. Some of the studies have shown that if you would be able to boost soil AMF concentration, and your crop would grow better. This is an experiment that shows the effect of mycorrhizal inoculants in an on-farm trial at Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. And they use the AGTIV, Arbuscular inoculants manufactured by Premier Tech. Those inoculants are made in granular form, and the inoculation rate is recommended at 5.6 kilograms per hectare, which is equivalent to about 2.5 pounds per acre. This is an article that published on the Top Crop Manager in recently, and the title is called "Making the Most of Mycorrhizal Inoculation." Could this inoculant be an effective way to improve cereal crop nitrogen use efficiency? And this is the results. They show the picture. Without AMF, the wheat is grown slightly smaller, and with AMF, it's become a lot bigger. And it's two different varieties of wheat. And you could see with naked eyes, see the difference. So this is under the conventional system, this experiment was done. Just imagine if there's a short of nitrogen supply or phosphorus supply, and how much more of this AMF will be able to contribute to the plant growth and improve the crop yield. I would imagine that it would be a lot bigger than the conventional system. And next, what I would say were to buy this AMF inoculant. And this is an inoculant that was used in previous slides. The experiments that done on farm trial, and they use this. And if you look at that, the Premier Tech also produced this Pro Mix. It's a 3 cubic feet. You actually could inoculate a lot of those things. Use this to inoculate a lot of those things. And online, you could see them as well. And all those kind of like AMF inoculants are available online, but it's pretty expensive to buy. And I guess if you use it for the large scale crop production, it may not make sense to buy those expensive ones. Like this smaller package, only 100 grams would cost about $10 or something online. So Rudell Institute has uh, has done an experiment, and they produce this they develop a protocol for you to produce your own AMF inoculant on your own farm. Yeah, what they do is very simple. They just grow a high AMF host plant in the controlled substrates containing native soil, or you could add a little bit of compost or add something, like peat moss or whatever, but try to incorporate some of your soil into it and then grow these things in a small area. And they were pretty smart. They use these bags because later time when you're harvesting these soils, it's a lot easier. And you could also grow in your garden, like near your house, and then you have irrigation, have all those things. Try to, grow this high effective host plants. And in the research, Riddell Institute research, they actually use bahia grass, and which is very effective. And in North Edmonton, and what they did, they use a sorghum stem grass, and this is also a very high mycorrhizal plant, highly mycorrhizal plants. So they use a different approach over the Riddell Institute. They use the bags. It's easy to harvest, but I guess if you have farm machine, you don't really worry too much about harvesting. You could grow a small area of this sorghum stem grass, and then leave this over there. And then after this crop is harvested, and then you could use this straws, this short cutted part, root system, and topsoil as inoculants. And you could mix them with your seeds, or if you could add them, during the seeding time, use this as a farrow application, and it just drops some of this soil besides your seeds, and your soil will be inoculated. The take-home message will be, AMF improves soil health by enhancing nutrient availability, promoting soil structure, increase soil microbial diversity, and supporting sustainable agriculture practices. AMF establishes symbiotic relationships with the plant roots, enhance nutrient uptake, particularly, like a phosphorus, which is many of us are concerning, and water availability when it's really, really low, and they would be able to enhance the water availability during the drought years, leading to improved crop growth and yield. AMF can enhance plant resistance to pests and diseases by strengthening root defense and improve overall plant vigor and resulting in a healthier crop. AMF can also significantly enhance crop yield by improving the plant availability to absorb water, nutrients, promoting overall growth and productivity. And AMF, help the plant to deal with the environmental stress, like the salinity stuff, drought, and disease. AMF can also boost crop production through inoculation, and inoculants can be either purchased if you use it for a small piece of a garden, or produced on your own farm with the methods we just introduced. Yeah, that's today's short presentation. And then we could start discussing. I wonder if anybody uses, probably learned this before and start doing these things on your farm already.